Talking franchises here, bud.
All right, you're jacked in to the franchise on the spookiest month of the year. And boy, things are spooky out there. It's hard. All these movies are bad. Not the Final Destinations, but like it's October, so I'm watching a lot of horror movies. Most horror movies are bad. I got news for you. It's a great genre. Some of the best movies ever made. But boy, oh boy, when horror movies are bad, they are fucking terrible.
Maybe it's your girlfriend. She's just picking all the bad ones.
Maybe it's just fucking podcast, because I'm talking about yesterday going to see The Exorcist and Pet Sematary.
Oh, that's your favorite dude. You would have gone to see that regardless.
I know. I turned on him. I turned on him this week.
Come on.
All right. We'll talk about that in a bonus episode this week, gang. The Exorcist Believer and Pet Sematary Bloodlines. By the way, Pet Sematary Bloodlines, and no appearance of either of the Usos.
I thought you were going to say Cara Maria.
Yeah. Oh, very good. That too. Or Cara Maria's cousin.
Jamie. Or any tremors. No tremors in this Bloodlines.
Oh, that's true. That was a Bloodlines too.
Mm-hmm.
There's a Hellraiser Bloodline also.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's a common sequel title.
Mm-hmm.
All right, gang. But this episode, we're talking Final D. We're still on Final Destination. And it's Final Destination 3 this week. With the roller coaster. Everyone knows it. And then the Final Destination, which is part 4 of 5. But was intended to be the last one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Bless you.
Why is it that, like, I'll go all morning without coughing, yawning, sneezing, and then the second we start recording,
I think it makes sense. You're not talking. You probably
my face just explodes.
Yeah, but then you get going and all the stuff starts coming out.
I hate it.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I'm freezing. Give me a second. Let me put my jacket on.
Okay, guys. By the way, I'm also sick today, so this could very well be our Final Destination. Who knows what's going to happen here? Oh, I guess Daniel legitimately left me here alone.
I'm putting a jacket on.
Oh. Did a New York Rangers jacket?
No, it's just a little sweater jacket.
Okay.
All right, listen. The Ranger season does start on Thursday, though. I'm very excited about it. Logan, where were we? You feel that God gave us the flu?
I do think so. It is like that time.
Or the devil. I guess it's not the devil. It's death.
Right, Tony Todd.
And is Tony Todd deaf?
I don't know. I always thought so. And I always thought he was in every one of these movies, but we only get a voice in the third one, and he's nowhere to be seen in the fourth one at all.
Yeah, so listen. Last week, you're telling me Tony Todd's deaf. I think you ended up spoiling me on the last movie or something.
Why? That Tony Todd shows back up?
No, that he's deaf.
Well, maybe I'm wrong. That's just like always the way I viewed him. Like if you said, what's Tony Todd's character name in Final Destination? I would have said, oh, he's Death or like the Grim Reaper or something.
He had a character name in the first movie. Okay. It was like Bloodworth or something.
Okay.
And which I understand is like a spooky name. So that really leans towards death. But, he's not deaf. He's just like a dude in that movie. And then in the second movie, he's giving them advice and shit. So how is he deaf in that? Now, hang on. Easy. Now we get to this third movie. It starts with this gigantic roller coaster. The roller coaster is narrated by Tony Todd. So, death, does VO work?
Yeah, he's also at the end. You didn't notice him at the end either?
Yeah, he's a subway conductor.
Yeah, I think he's like the voice of evil. Like something bad's happening when that guy's around.
All right, but then he doesn't show up at all in the fourth one.
Yeah.
I read because of scheduling conflicts due to his appearance in Transformers 2 Revenge of the Fallen.
He's in that movie?
I didn't remember that either.
He probably read the script too and was like, this one's racist. Why do I want to be in this one? They're calling people chocolate.
Yeah, but the racist guy gets punished.
Yeah. Did you like that, by the way? Is this a franchise like Saw where you're like, I want to see bad guys get killed, not good guys? So were you liking the fourth one because it's racist people?
Um, should I announce my feel? Well, I mean, I guess I already said my feelings on Believer, and we haven't even recorded that episode yet.
Right.
So,
By the way,
I'll,
you need to stop doing that. Like anytime it's not like it's like a bonus episode, you just feel so free to just put your star rating out there, and I really hate that.
um,
You know what I'm talking about? Like anytime it's not
I
like a
do, I do. I feel as though there's very little anticipation for this podcast, and I
but
want
I
to just.
anticipate talking to you and like having the actual conversation, and when I know like that doesn't excite me.
It
Happens all
doesn't
the
excite
time.
you when I don't like movies.
When I know ahead of time exactly how you feel about it.
You don't know exactly how I feel about
You
it.
were bored. It was your review.
So I have other things to say other than I was bored.
Okay. All right. Anyway, we'll do that tomorrow.
Yeah, we fucking will. All right, but I want to say no, I did not like the Final Destination, the fourth Destination movie. I fucking hated it.
It's the consensus worst one. This is like a franchise where there's very clearly a bottom movie, and it's the Final Destination.
I hated it. And it was a bummer because I loved the third one. Like I walked
I
out
thought
of
you
like
would.
I walked out of the third one going like I might give this a 4.
Yeah.
Uh I still might.
Okay.
But I I was immediately let down. Turned on the fourth one, got all excited when I saw it was an hour 22,
Yeah.
and then it was just terrible. But we'll
Right.
get to it. Let's talk about the third one
By the
first.
way, the fourth one in 3D, not the third one, right?
Yeah,
Usually
that
it's
one.
Final
That's so
Destination
stupid.
3D, but no.
Apparently, the studio wanted the third one to be in 3D, and James Wong was like, "No, it's gonna look bad. Like all
Yeah.
the 3D stuff has to be like blood and fire, and those effects are already hard to do." Like,
Yeah, ask Martin McDonough. But no, he made a great call.
no joke though. I was watching something this week and I saw some really fake fire and I had the thought that's some Inisherin fire.
I had that thought with Bottoms. At the end of Bottoms, there's an explosion, and I was like, "Oh, Banshee Stan hates this part."
At least in the comedy.
Sure.
All right, so Glenn Morgan and James Wong, they're back. Wong's directing again. Morgan's just co-writing with him. They're my boys from the X-Files. Morgan coming off the triumph and yet box office failure of Willard. James Wong limping back to the Final Destination franchise after his horrible Jet Li movie where Jet Li fights Jet Li.
It made me sad, by the way, that this guy doesn't do anything anymore.
Just TV.
Yeah, but that actually bummed me out. Like he made 4 movies. 2 of them were 2 of the better Final Destinations that are
They're the two
legitimately well
best
directed.
ones.
Well, we haven't seen 5 yet. But I think 1 and 3 are legit directed very well. And then he made that Dragon Ball movie, and people were like, "Oh my god, that's no way!" But
I know.
give him another shot. Come on.
Doing research for the fourth movie for the podcast, I read like he was signed on to just do the fourth one. Like he was gonna come back, and then filming ran long on fucking Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
And then he didn't know when filming was running long. He had to turn down this movie, and then it was like, but he'll never direct again.
Right. So if he had completed it, he could have done Dragon Ball and this. That could have been bad, but then this one could have been good, and then he could have had another shot after this one.
That's right.
That it fucked him up.
I'm looking forward to next week. I wonder why he didn't come back for the 5th one.
Well,
Or
I think
did
we
he?
know. No, he didn't. I think we know. I think Dragon Ball ruined his career.
Yeah, but I mean, the one ruined his career, and Final Destination was still come on home, buddy.
Yeah, I don't know why. Honestly,
Who directs the 5th one?
I don't know. I'm interested to find out.
I'm looking it up right now.
Okay.
It's a fellow by the name of Stephen Quayle.
Oh, I've heard that name.
Have you?
Yeah.
Looks like he hasn't worked since 2017. Not much of a career for this guy either. His only other big movie was that one, Into the Storm. You remember that?
Yeah.
I kind of remember trailers for that looking interesting, or not interesting, but cool.
Is that with like Sarah Wayne Callies?
It is. How the fuck did you pull that?
Well, because she was a Walking Dead person, and it was right after that, and I was like, oh, should I watch this for the Walking Dead for Lori? But I never did it.
I'll tell you what. This guy Stephen Quayle, who directed the fifth one, he's also the second unit director on both Titanic and Avatar, but did not return
Wow.
for the Avatar sequels.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Second unit director. I wonder if he actually did anything though. Probably not.
Why? Second unit, bro. He probably shot some like trees.
Is there ever a second unit when I feel like it's just first unit all the time? Go, go, go. That guy doesn't. He doesn't give anything over to a second unit.
That's a good point, actually. He's such a fucking freak.
Yeah, I don't buy there's a second unit at all.
All right. All right. So the movie, the Final Destination 3, let's back to it.
Right.
Came out Feb 10, 2006, under the title Final Destination 3. It was originally titled Cheating Death: Final Destination 3. And then they were like, that's stupid. Let's just go with Final Destination 3.
Great call.
Yeah. Feb 1006 on a budget of $25 million. This made $118.9 million at the box office, which is a healthy profit.
Yeah.
Made number 60 at the domestic box office, between the Omen remake and the Prestige. Now, I thought it was interesting that it was right next to the Omen because this movie is kind of indebted to the original Omen.
Why?
I mean, like she has omens. First of all, there's the stuff with the pictures. I think
Okay.
that's a thing from the Omen.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I would say this is indebted to the first Final Destination, and if you want to say that's indebted to the Omen, then whatever. But I guess the picture thing, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, and that's not in the first one. So there.
Right. Did you like that? I like that whole thing in this movie, how you can kind of see how they're gonna die if you look in those pictures carefully. Right.
Yeah, some of them were stupid.
A little
Some of them were really
stupid.
stupid.
But I like how in
behind. Like, come on.
but I like how in every picture there are like 6 different things. Like, could it be that? Could it be that? It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
It made me think about like
It's true.
in any picture of me, are there like 6 different things where I could die in the photos? Like, should I go back and look?
No, I did that right after watching the movie. I went back and looked in my phone, and the last photo I found of myself, in the background, you could see a machete,
Noose.
a flamethrower, a noose, and the trenchcoat mafia. All right,
Right.
so it could be any one of those things,
Mhm. I like
or
that
maybe this just the sneezing that I'm doing.
part. Right.
Yeah. Logan,
Mhm.
this was nominated for 2 Saturn Awards.
Wow.
Saturn is between Uranus and Neptune. Saturn, whoa, sci-fi blasters with films.
Yeah, Saturn's still liking this franchise. First off, it nominated for Best Special Edition DVD release. We haven't really come
Awesome.
across this. too
No, it
much.
makes me want to go check it out.
Yeah,
I have it
There's
on
a
Blu-ray. I have all these movies on Blu-ray.
maybe you have the Special Edition DVD release.
I don't think so.
It's called the Thrill Ride Edition.
No.
Okay, and what this does, is it had a choose your own adventure section on the movie. So during the movie stops and gives you little choices, and they shot death scenes multiple ways,
That's
so
awesome.
you can like choose which version of the death you want to watch. But I read that there's also one early on in the movie where it's like, do they get do they go to the roller coaster or don't they? And
So then what happens?
if you say no, then the movie just ends.
Okay, that's good. Is there also a question of like, do you want to get off the roller coaster? Can you end it again there by staying on the roller coaster?
Logan, I don't have that information for you. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
You'll have to watch the Thrill Ride edition, which you may own.
It might be on YouTube.
It might be. Although nothing's on fucking you. Can I gripe again about movies just not being available?
I guess so.
I could do it on Hey I'm Watching here, I guess. Patreon.com/the franchise to hear that gripe. No, but like I tried to watch a horror movie yesterday. You ever hear of that movie All the Boys Love Mandy Lane?
Sure.
Yeah, I'd never seen that before. I was always curious about it. Tried to watch it yesterday. Not available. Just anywhere.
Could have gone to Netflix and watched To All the Boys I've Loved Before instead.
I didn't want to because that's a franchise, and I'm waiting till we cover it.
Have you ever seen this?
Nope.
None of them. That's crazy. It was so big at the time. That's crazy.
I
You never saw
know.
the first one.
No, I remember reading an article in the Hollywood Reporter that after the first movie came out, the Instagram followings of the two main actors went up so high that now they're gonna like Hollywood is starting to use that to like gauge success.
That's what started it. To All the Boys I've Loved
Yeah,
Before?
yes.
That's very sad. But I liked both the main actors at the time. I get it. You don't know the part. You don't
Have
know.
you turned on a couple of them?
No, I haven't. I just haven't seen him in a while. I feel like Noah Centineo hasn't done that much outside of like.
Yeah, everyone thought he was gonna be a big deal.
Well, he was in that what's the name of that movie?
Crazy Rich?
He's in that movie.
I have no idea. I took a stab.
He's not Asian. He's white. She's Asian.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's a white guy. But he was in Charlie's Angels, but I never even checked that out. I feel like that was supposed to like launch him into like bigger movies, but I don't think it worked really. But Lana Condor,
this
the
guy
girl,
is Noah Centineo.
I don't know who you're looking at.
I'm looking at a picture of him. I don't think I've ever looked at a picture of him before.
Yeah.
He was in Black Adam. I remember that.
Okay.
What was the name of the girl in that?
Lana Condor.
I feel like maybe Stephanie Shu took her career.
Wow, you think so?
Yeah.
That's possible. I do think she's also very funny, Lana Condor, like Stephanie Shu.
I was excited for her when they cast her as Jubilee in that X-Men movie, but then they kind of gave her nothing to do in that movie.
Who, Lana Condor?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Apocalypse. X-Men Apocalypse.
I don't remember that.
All right.
You gotta watch 12 Boys. It's pretty cute.
We'll watch it. We'll do it for the show.
Yeah, we'll do it next week.
I don't think so.
Let's rank 2006. I got my list up here.
Wait, it was one more. Let me finish the Saturn Awards.
Mhm.
Okay, so it lost that DVD award to the Superman 2 Richard Donner cut edition. You know,
Sure.
and it was also nominated for best horror movie, but it lost to The Descent, which is pretty understandable.
A 4-star movie, according to you. It was a 5, and then it went to a 4.
That is correct.
All right, The Descent. That's the previous year, though, right? 2005.
No, that's 6, isn't it?
It's not on my top 10 list, which is a major mistake by me.
Well, it might be a one of those
2005.
letterbox things.
No, 2005.
But I think it came out in America in 2006.
I've always known that as 2005. So, and on Letterboxd 2005, so I'm keeping it.
All right, fuck it. All right, I have my 2006 list. What do you got?
All right, my number 10, I'm going to go with Mission Impossible 3. My number 9, I watched it for Ryan Gosling a few months ago when he did Barbie. It's called Half Nelson. Very good movie. Little white saviory, but what are you going to do? Number 8 is a Spike Lee movie, one of the more oddball Spike Lee movies. Inside Man, right? That's an interesting one.
It's oddball in that it's not oddball.
Right, exactly. That's like the most normal. It's like Panic Room kind of for Fincher. It's like one like that kind of.
Yeah,
maybe. But number 7, The Prestige. Number 6, Jackass.
Well, Fincher does that though. Gone Girl and Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
But I feel like Panic Room is like the most accessible. I'm saying kind of.
I guess so.
Dragon Tattoo is not accessible. That's part of like a series.
Yeah, but they only made one for American audiences, and those books were such huge hits.
But I never saw it because there are more, and we're gonna cover them, right?
Right.
All right, so number 6, Jackass 2. Number 2, because it's poop. Number 5, Children of Men. Number 4, Casino Royale. Number 3, Borat, Cultural Learnings of America for Make Benefit Glorious Nation of Kazakhstan.
Thanks for the full title.
Number 2, United 93. And number 1, Little Children. Your turn.
It is my turn. It's an interesting list.
Thanks.
I will say, speaking of Spike Lee, like if When the Levees Broke counted, that'd probably be number 1 on this list. That's his
honorable
HBO.
mention. John Tucker Must Die
All
and Little Miss Sunshine.
right, I'll throw out some honorable mentions to Fast Food Nation, This Is England, Black Book, The Good Shepherd, Slither.
Hmm.
How about that? All right, but my top 10 is number 10, Inside Man. Number 9, Rescue Dawn by Werner Herzog. Number 8, Altman's Prairie Home Companion. Number 7, Away from Her by Sarah Polley. Her first film as director. Number 6, The Last King of Scotland. Number 5, Casino Royale. Number 4, Borat. Cultural Learnings of America for Big Benefit Glory Station of Kazakhstan. Number 3, The Foot Fist Way.
Wow.
Yep. Number 2, Little Children. Number 1, United 93. And those could swap. I've swapped
swapped
those a
them, yeah.
couple of times in my life. Those top 2.
Yeah, I have them swapped, but okay.
Okay.
Great list. Very,
thank
very,
you.
very weird list. I like it.
Is that weird?
Well, I mean, it's movies I haven't seen, so I call it
I
weird.
felt like I had a lot of Oscar bait on my list.
Well, I haven't seen them. So.
Okay. Let's talk about the movie.
Yeah,
The
you
movie.
loved it. What'd you love about it? The characters. I thought you probably love a lot of the,
Love
especially
the
Mary Elizabeth
characters.
Winstead. She's awesome.
Love Winstead.
Me too.
Love all. Well, okay. So let's walk me through it.
I feel like you should walk me through it.
Oh,
This is a movie. Usually we do like if I haven't seen it, I walk you through it. But this is one you haven't seen. All right, well they're at
Right.
the amusement park, right? She takes pictures for the newspaper, right? Is what it is.
yeah. What are they in high school?
High school. Yep.
Okay.
So you're loving it. They're probably minors.
Wait, so those 2 girls in the tanning booth, those were high school girls?
Oh, yeah, I guess.
I don't know if I like that scene as much anymore.
No, they were 18. They were 18.
Okay.
Well, especially because one could afford
Hey, Logan.
breast implants.
Yeah, a lot of rack focus in that scene.
Oh, great job. Great job. I love it. By the way, something I forgot, boobs in every Final Destination so far.
Really? Well, there were boobs in the first 2?
The first one we see when Todd dies, we see Alex looking in the newspaper. We see or he's looking at porn, right?
Yeah.
He's looking at like a magazine. In the second movie, we see at the start, at the pile up, there's a woman on a motorcycle who flashes them. Remember? She pulls up on a motorcycle and pulls her shirt up. And then in this one, we see those 2 tanning girls. And then in the fourth one, he has sex with a girl right before he dies.
Yeah,
Fun.
credited in the credits as girl on top.
Yeah, that's good. Fourth one has some good credits. That might be the best part of that movie.
To me, that scene in the fourth one was a ripoff of Perfect Nipple Placement from.
I thought you were gonna say that right now. I didn't think
Yeah.
about it then, but when you started going, I was like, he's gonna bring up Perfect Nipple Placement. And he
Did. I said it the second the scene started. I was distracted that whole scene.
I never really thought about it, but it is a little the same where he's like being such a jerk while doing it. And he's like trying to and he's like making it all about himself.
Yeah, he makes like a donkey punch joke.
Yeah, he did do that.
That guy, Nick Zano. Can I tell you about him?
No, come on, let's do the third movie.
Oh, right. I forgot that's the fourth one already. Okay, back to the third. So Mary Elizabeth Winstead, yeah, she's the lead. She's fucking delightful. I mean, this was like she was so on the verge of being great right here, and she was about to.
This is like, I mean, she had Sky High, which launched her for me. But,
Yeah,
but this was like probably her mainstream big movie.
Right. Like
I don't
for
know for
me,
sure,
for me, it was Die Hard 4 and Scott Pilgrim that really pushed her over the top. Like now she's a thing in my brain. But no, here she is. She's the fucking lead. She's in like every scene.
Yeah, every scene. Yeah. But I'm looking. Yeah, this is like her. Yeah, the Sky High, and then right into this one, and then yeah, she's in Death Proof.
Right.
The next year, that's pretty big for her. Death Proof and Die Hard 4. And then Scott Pilgrim a few years later, and then she's Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
Yeah,
and I love her. If you look at any of her movies on my Letterboxd, I feel like I just talk about her. I have like a real problem with Mary Elizabeth
I'm
Winstead.
aware of that.
She's one of my biggest crushes ever. I love her so much.
I think a lot about how she stole Ewan McGregor from his wife.
Well, she can't help it, but like her existing doesn't mean she stole him. You know?
No, it's true. Hard to compete with her.
Yeah, like she probably didn't do anything. I mean, besides be herself. I don't know. I don't want to blame her.
Okay. Um. All right. Who else is there?
Oh, we've got this guy from Luck of the Irish. Do you know him?
Yeah,
That's
it's
a
so
decom.
funny. Yeah, my girlfriend called out Luck of the Irish when he showed up too.
Great.
But
Great job.
but
Bella.
I recognized him from he played Troy and Belisario's sister's fiance in the first couple seasons of Pretty Little Liars.
He was somebody's fiance?
She was one of the Pretty Little Liars' sister's fiancés.
Okay. Because I always liked this guy, but I don't know.
Wait. I think I'm wrong about that. He's in Pretty Little Liars, but I think I'm getting two characters confused. I think he might have been a cop.
Okay. I don't like him as like a love interest. Like in this movie. Like Mary Elizabeth Winstead's kind of love interest. I don't like him, but I like him as just like a normal guy. You know?
Well, he's barely a love interest in this. Like I wasn't even sure for most of the movie whether I was supposed to be rooting for them to get together. They were just sort of trauma bonding in that like her boyfriend died in the thing and his girlfriend did.
But she says early on, she's like, "Whoa, we're like not even friends. I don't even like you, bro." And then toward the end, they get a little closer, and he's like, "Wait, I thought you didn't even like me." Like I feel like they do sort of like each other, but then at the end, they go to their separate ways, and she goes to college, and he goes to wherever. But then they meet back up. So I do think you're right that they don't date or anything, but I do think they sort of try to give a little spark throughout the movie.
Yeah, but it doesn't really spark for me. I don't think they have great chemistry, even as friends. Like I never really.
Well, they're not really friends. Is the thing.
Yeah, that sold it for me, I guess.
Yeah.
Because like I never really thought of them as having a relationship after this if they survive.
Right. I guess it's just how you read it. If you read that they're going for a romantic thing, which I kind of did, but they realized it didn't work and they didn't stick together, which is a good call.
Yeah.
So,
all right, who else is there?
But I want to bring something up with him for early on. Something I don't really remember that much, but he jumps up and does like a little Irish like heel kick early on in the movie when they're at the amusement park, which I thought was
There's
crazy.
no way that's true.
Swear to God,
he probably just did a little motion, and you had Luck of the Irish.
I rewound it to confirm.
You rewound it.
Yeah, it was awesome. I had to make sure that I was right, and I was. He did the little heel kick. I'll send it to you, but. Okay.
Are we ever gonna come up with a new word for rewinding? Because you're not winding anything anymore.
You're going back. I went back.
I don't know.
I like rewinding. You think fast forwarding we got to change to?
No,
you're going fast forward. You're going forward.
That's fine. Fast
you think
forward
fast backwards we should do?
Fast backwards.
Fast
there you
forward,
go.
fast backward.
I fast backwards.
So they end up crashing. I gotta bring something up, something that I never thought about, and I felt stupid when I saw Tim's Letterboxd review. Did you see this?
No, tell me. I mean, I probably did, but I don't remember.
They crash in the premonition because Frankie Cheeks dropped his camera, and they drive over it. But then Frankie Cheeks gets off the roller coaster. So why do they crash?
Wait, say it again.
They crash the roller coaster driving over Frankie Cheeks' camera, but Frankie gets off the roller coaster. So why does it then still crash?
I've got the answer for that.
Yeah.
It was in. No. I had wondered this too. And then I looked it up and I found the answer. Can I just find the thing where I read it?
Yeah. There's like a legit explanation.
Yeah.
Was it just like it was going to happen regardless of what happened?
No. There's like a real explanation.
Death had a plan.
Death always has a plan, dude.
By death, I mean Tony Todd.
I don't mean Tony Todd.
You mean Bloodworth?
I mean, that's funny. Fuck.
By the way, did you notice a few posters in Mary Elizabeth Winstead's room? Can we call her Mary for this episode? In Mary's room?
Mew. I call her Mew.
Mew, yeah, Mew. We do that over here.
What? No, I didn't.
She likes the Ramones.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, that's not impressive to me. Okay. Listen, here it is. I found it.
Okay.
It is common for viewers. This is on the
Oh, this is something
the
people picked up on.
spoiler trivia on IMDb.
Yeah.
It is
segment,
common
spoiler
for
trivia.
viewers to believe that Frankie's video camera is the primary source for the roller coaster's crash. It's common for fucking morons like Shut Up Tim, right? Like literal listen like that. The main cause is a leak in the hydraulics,
Oh.
which started before his video camera wrapped around part of the roller coaster's track. Okay. Therefore, his video camera only aided in rupturing the hydraulics further, which in
Okay.
consequence only contributed to the deaths of those people because their harnesses malfunctioned. Okay. Like the people that got off. They weren't
Right.
on the ride when it crashed in reality, therefore making Frankie's presence insignificant to the crash and deaths. Okay.
All right. So it's gonna happen anyway, Tim. You hear that, you big dummy?
Yeah. Yeah. Wait to get on your high horse in that letterbox review and then come across like a complete fucking moron.
well, I bought it too, and we just spent 5 minutes talking about it. So.
That's
Sorry,
a good
Tim,
tent.
to embarrass you.
All right. Tell me more.
So they all crash. And
Wait, who else is there? Tell me all the. Can we go through all the characters?
Okay, yeah. So we've got Mary. She plays a woman named Wendy. Okay, and Lucky the Irish plays Kevin.
Big Wendy.
Okay. Wendy has a sister named Julie. I didn't like Julie that much.
What? Who doesn't like Julie?
You thought she was a good actor?
I loved her. Listen, this is Amanda Cruz. That's a real actor. All
I
right.
don't know her.
Haven't you ever seen a little film by the name of She's the Man?
Yeah, who's she in that? I thought that was Amanda.
She's
Bynes.
one of Amanda Bynes' friends.
Okay, all right.
All right.
Did we come across her brother? Wasn't her
one.
wait? Wasn't her brother little Tim from the first movie, second movie?
Yes.
Holy shit, we got the whole cast. They're all in Final Destination.
Yeah, gotta get Bynes in there.
Where's Channing? God.
That's right. Shit. The Tate's gotta get going. All right. But so she was in that, and then she was also like the female lead in Silicon Valley.
Okay, that's
She's a
pretty
good
cool.
actor, Amanda Cruz. I read that Amanda Cruz auditioned for the goth girl who dies in the Home Improvement store,
Mhm.
and that actor auditioned for the Amanda Cruz role, and then they
Wow.
swapped.
Yeah,
How
great
about
call
that?
by the director there.
You know what else I read? You know what else I read? That's insane.
What?
So this movie came out in 2006, right? Feb 2006. When did High School Musical come out?
2006,
Okay, so they're not really things yet, right? Those actors.
right?
I read that Ashley Tisdale was in the running for the Mary Elizabeth Winstead part,
Oh no.
and that Vanessa Hudgens auditioned for the sister. We could have had the whole High School Musical cast
That would have been
in a
bad.
Final Destination movie.
I hate that. Ashley Tisdale's not a good actor at all, really.
Yeah, but she's got that great nose.
Yeah, I guess you are right about that.
Mhm.
What you think they would have like really focused on the nose for her death? Or I guess she would die at the end in that train thing, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Because I remember
guess so, Logan.
I know there's a spoiler alert in the fifth one. They do a LASIK eye surgery. Like she could be going in for nose surgery, right? And that could be part of her.
Oh yeah, rhinoplasty.
Yeah, but missed opportunity. No, they made a good call. Mary Elizabeth Winstead, obviously.
No, of course, duh. I just thought that
cool,
was
though.
interesting.
Yeah.
All right, who else we got? You haven't gotten to my favorite character yet.
All right. Well, we Frankie Cheeks. You want to talk about
Frankie Cheeks. Let's
Yeah.
talk about Frankie Cheeks.
Here we go.
All right, now this guy. What is going on with this guy? He seems to be about how
He's
old
a
is he
super
supposed
duper
to be?
senior.
25?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a grown man who's like still going to high school events, and all the high school people are like aware of him. Like he's apparently just around this
Right.
guy.
The McConaughey of the town.
But McConaughey to me hangs out at the pool hall, right? And then like the high school kids go to the pool hall and they're like, What's up, McConaughey?"
Yeah,
He's
this guy
like a real
crashes their
character.
party.
This
right?
guy he makes an effort.
He goes to the
To
funerals
all the
and
parties.
everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I guess he was there. That makes sense for him to go.
It is so crazy to me. And he's taking pictures. He's got his little camera. And at one point he like tells the two girls who we later see in the tanning salon, like, "Hey, I'm just trying to track your development."
Right. Yep.
Ugh.
Mm-hmm.
Gross. By the way, those two girls who die in the tanning salon, the characters' names are Ashley and Ashlyn, which I thought was fucking stupid. It was like too
that's
similar.
Genius.
And then when they die in the tanning salon, it's like, oh, their names are both Ash.
Oh my god, Daniel. I never put that together one time in my life. I just think it's hilarious that their names are Ashley and Ashlyn. But that's hilarious. I've never heard anybody ever say that. Ash. That's
It's
good.
fucking brilliant.
Are any of the others the same? Frankie Cheeks, he dies like a propeller in the back of his head. That's not really his cheeks or his butt or anything.
Yeah.
Lewis, his is like the weights in the face.
They should have named the guy who gets his butt ripped out in the next one Frankie Cheeks.
Frankie Butthole.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. Ash, that's good. Wow. Yeah, all right. So, Frank, what about anything else? I like the part, by the way, at their. I mean, we'll get to their funeral, but when he's like, "Wow, they would have never died if they weren't trying to impress me so much." Like he makes it all about him. That's crazy. Anyway, so there's Frankie Cheeks. Lewis, you got anything on Lewis, the football guy? Did you disappear? Where did you go?
Hey, yeah, my internet went out for a second.
Oh my
I'm
God.
back. Yeah.
Okay. Did you have anything else on Frankie Cheeks?
No, he's delightful.
Yeah, delightful character.
Yeah.
All right, back to Ashley and Ashlyn. Anything on them besides their names are great?
Well, Shalane Simmons, she was my clue that this was again shot in Canada, because I knew her from a Canadian TV show called the LA Complex that I was a big fan of.
Okay, I've never even heard of that.
Yeah, nobody's seen that show, unfortunately.
What is that about? Like a building in LA? Building complex?
Yeah, it's like it's sort of like an apartment complex,
right?
Where like young struggling artists are all like trying to get their shit off the ground.
That's like a scripted show.
Yeah,
that sounds pretty cool.
It was great.
Yeah,
and either Ashley or Ashlyn, I don't know which one she was, but she was in there.
Okay. Should we be talking about
this is the third movie I've seen her boobs in.
Really? What was the other one?
She was Good Luck Chuck and Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
So
if you want to watch a trilogy of Shalane Simmons's boobs, check it out.
There are boobs in Tucker and Dale versus Evil?
Yep.
Where? Like, where?
I don't recall, except that I was like, oh, hey, that girl's boobs. And I was excited.
Huh. Okay. Should we be talking about their deaths as we talk about these characters?
Yeah, why not? Well, we talked about the Ashels.
Well, I feel we should really talk about that, because that's one of the great deaths ever.
Is it?
I think so. Especially the transition that they do at the end of the death. You know what I'm talking about?
Remind me. Because I remember thinking it was awesome, but remind me.
It's one of my favorite things that's in any movie ever. They die.
Oh, I wrote it down in my notes. Go ahead. Yeah.
We get an overhead shot of the tanning beds full of fire and smoke and ash, both ashes. And then hard cut to their caskets in the same spot. It's awesome.
It is brilliant. Like an overhead shot of the tanning beds turns into the caskets.
Unreal. Great
James
idea.
Wong, man.
Yeah. No, truly. And we get some stuff. Like he breaks out split diopter lenses. We get some great and not just that with that lens in that scene. The scene where like it's with Mew and her sister. They're like,
yeah,
leave to college, or you're gonna come stay with me. But the blocking in general in that scene, I think, is great. Even when we're not using that lens, like we get one in the foreground, one in the background, and it's just really well done, I think.
Now Now that we like really love Asian people in Hollywood, let's give James Wong more work.
Yeah. No, really. I would be so excited if I heard that he was doing another thing.
Yeah.
But what's up in this movie? We get a lot of Osama bin Laden references.
There's a lot of weird shit going on in this movie. In terms of, I don't even know how to explain it. There's one scene where they look at like a picture of Abe Lincoln, and it has like a little crease in his skull. It's like, oh, he was shot right there. So like the death influenced this picture.
And we see like a shadow in the World Trade Center.
Yes.
Crazy.
I couldn't believe it. They literally, like, I'm not even joking. This was my Letterboxd review, but I'm not even joking. They draw a line in this movie from John Wilkes Booth to Lee Harvey Oswald to Osama bin Laden to death.
To Tony Todd, yeah.
The Bloodworth.
Yeah. The Bloodworth. Yeah, but they really do. It's so funny, but I loved it. Yeah, but he says,
did you notice at the end of the movie, dude? They when they're on the subway, the next two stops, like, because I'm always listening for like real subway stops because I'm a New Yorker or whatever. They said the next two stops are Booth and Oswald, and I was like, what?
Wait, are you serious?
Yes.
Oh wow. I sort of forgot the JFK thing that you were talking about. It's that.
Yeah,
because in this scene they don't mention JFK. It's
no. But Lee Harvey Oswald is referenced later in the movie.
I didn't notice that. That's weird.
Yeah.
I sort of had a question back to the Frankie Cheeks death. Okay, there's a part where they're wondering like, how's Frankie gonna die? They're looking at the photo and they're like, is he like what were the things that he could have won at the carnival? And Luck of the Irish guy, Kevin, says maybe SpongeBob is going to kill him. Maybe water. SpongeBob lives underwater. And Mary Elizabeth, Wendy, she says, how do you know that? That's weird that you know that.
Yep. Never respected her more than in that moment.
No, that was one of the dumbest things that's ever been in a movie. Because if there's one thing, the song starts out, who lives in a pineapple under the sea.
But what if you've never seen that dumb show?
You've never seen it. You know that, don't you? That SpongeBob lives underwater.
I don't understand. I've always said I don't get whether he lives in the ocean or in a bathtub.
But you know he lives underwater, at least.
Yeah, but she's cool, man. This guy, I agree with her. He's lame for even knowing anything about SpongeBob. Everyone knows
SpongeBob lives underwater. That was the dumb line.
You should know that he's a sponge. He's got square pants. That's it.
His name is Bob. Actually, his name is SpongeBob. I don't know. But another thing I thought was pretty funny, actually, Frankie Cheeks. Okay, there's a character in SpongeBob named Sandy Cheeks. Any relation there between Frankie Cheeks and Sandy Cheeks? Sandy Cheeks is the squirrel, by the way, that lives underwater.
Is it a lady?
Lady squirrel. She knows karate. She's from Texas. A lot of stuff about Sandy Cheeks. She lives in a dome underwater because she can't breathe underwater. She's a squirrel, so she lives.
What's she doing there?
She lives in a big tank underwater, and when she's not inside her tank, she has her own tank
does that
on her head. She likes it.
But why? Has there ever been a squirrel that successfully lived underwater before? The answer is no, Logan.
Yeah, no, it's a question I've always had. Like, why? Like, was she sentenced to live? Like, was that her sentence? She has to live underwater forever.
The show doesn't make sense.
She should leave.
Why is he a sponge in the ocean?
Because it's a fun character that people like, and he looks funny, and you can do a lot of fun animation.
Why would
a
sponge be with a starfish? Serving burgers. I don't understand. That show sucks.
All right. Well, we're doing that after Buffy, SpongePod Squarecast. I've always wanted to do that.
I hate that. I hate that you said it on the show because now people are gonna be asking for it.
I've said it on a lot of shows.
Have you?
Past shows.
Well, no one's asked for it yet. So
maybe not a main show.
Yeah.
Maybe not a main show. Your mom will be asking. She'll be like, "That's a great point that Logan brought up."
Yeah, but maybe you should host it with somebody else who's nicer to you.
All right, whatever. Did you like that they have a new song in this movie? There is someone walking behind you.
I didn't actually. I thought it should have just been the John Denver song again.
But that would have been weird because we didn't play it in the second movie.
Yeah, but to me, the second movie doesn't exist. This is like James Wong is back. This is a sequel to the first one. To me, it's so weird. Like the idea of directors like trading off movies, like one guy does 1 and 3 and one guy does 2 and 4, is so unique. It's never happened in a franchise before, and that's kind of why I've always wanted to do this franchise. And it is interesting. Like it's almost like it's two different franchises in one with like sort of similar premises.
Right, they're competing again. They're like Vin and Paul at the end of 7. They're like on the same road going together, like trying to pass each other, and then they split off and go their separate ways.
It's like, yeah. Wait, you distracted me by saying that because I started thinking about
Sorry.
Furious 7.
Sorry.
What
But does
we're
the other guy
talking
have a
about-
big career? The guy from 2 and 4?
David R. Ellis? Well, he's dead now.
Oh, good. No, just
What?
kidding.
No, he made like Snakes on a Plane and
Oh, right, of course,
and
Shark Night.
Night and shit.
He loves
but
3D. That's a 3D movie.
he loves. I read that he only came back for the fourth one because he wants to do 3D.
Oh my god, that's why I love Glenn Morgan more. He like said no way, and the other guy said I'm not coming back unless I can do 3D.
Yeah,
which is two completely different mindsets.
Yeah, they're so opposite. Even like the function of the visions is different in the two franchise. Like, do you know how like the fourth movie, the visions played out like the second movies did?
Exactly. Yes.
But
and the 1 and 3 they play out like reality, and then we cut back to normal, and it's like, oh, that was all a vision. You're right.
It's so weird. It's two franchises in one that are just like doing similar shit.
I agree. That's a great call. Except in the Final Destination, we do get that long scene where the friend dies in the movie theater, and that was all fake. That's kind of done like the first and third one, how it plays out like reality, and then we realize, oh, that was fake. But
How you
I
die
don't
in a movie theater.
remember they go to at the mall.
Excuse me, Lovelace dying,
It reminded me of a Seinfeld title, right?
which is The Long Kiss Goodnight. By the way, that's what they're watching.
They also had a Saving Private Ryan. Did you notice that?
What?
There's like a fake Saving Private Ryan on the wall, but it's like a different thing.
No,
it's
but
like,
I mean the clips from the movie when they show the clips, they're watching The Long Kiss Goodnight.
oh, okay. But they did that again with Saving Private Ryan. They just didn't play the footage. But like one of the posters is Saving Private Ryan, but it's like a different thing. But anyway, that's the. But I'm talking about like they play that one out like a full scene, and then it's revealed that it's a premonition. But otherwise, in that movie, it's just we're seeing Nick have terrible premonitions.
Yeah.
But
Nick.
anyway, let's go back to the third movie. We keep
one of
jumping
the
to
many memorable characters from the fourth movie.
right.
All right, go back. What do you got?
All right, so there was Frankie Cheeks, and we had Ashley and Ashlyn. Lewis, the football guy.
Yeah,
He was not memorable. Really.
what a wild name, though. Did you look at this actor's name?
No.
It was Texas Battle.
Okay, that's his name.
That's his name. And so, considering that's his name, I was like, I gotta look this guy up. All right, so I checked him out on IMDb, and he had a great IMDb bio. If I can read some of it to you.
Yeah.
As the song states, the stars at night are big and bright, deep in the heart of Texas. And that's what Texas Battle has. Heart. A heart and desire for acting.
Wow.
And then it sort of just goes on like that. But it does say Texas starred in New Line Cinema's Final Destination 3, where he died a very memorable death in a gym accident.
I mean, they're all memorable, but he's one of the least memorable people in the movie.
Yeah, but they're all good.
Yeah. By the way, I'm looking at him on.
Wong liked this guy because I noticed he was in Dragon Ball Evolution.
Right. I'm looking at his filmography here. He's in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 direct-to-video Bruce Willis movies.
Wow.
Marauders, Hard Kill, Trauma Center, 10 Minutes Gone, Wrong Place, and Wire Room.
So this guy's doing fine.
Well, he was. Bruce Willis is going to die soon. And then
oh,
he's not
yeah,
gonna have
you're
a
right.
career
You think
anymore.
that fucked over his career? Do you
I
think
think it's
he was
possible.
one of the guys that's been like using Bruce Willis?
That's sad. I think it's possible.
I think it is possible. It literally the only things he's in are Bruce Willis. I'm looking at it.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
except for one episode of the Magnum PI remake.
So there's Lewis, whatever. By the way, I liked one part after Lewis's death. We see, because Kevin and Wendy go there. They're like, we got to warn Lewis. He's going to die. Is he going to die by the bear, by the swords? I think that's pretty funny. But anyway, afterward, they all get splattered by his blood. And we see that they've changed clothes. I really like that little detail. We see them in like sweats, and they have a bag of their bloody clothes, which I really like.
Is that true?
Yeah, they're like standing by their car with a bag of clothes.
That's
I was like,
good.
oh, nice touch here. I like that.
That's good.
But all right, then
Yeah,
we get.
I thought he was all right. Like he's the kind of character though that you're like wanting to die.
Right, and he's just like doesn't believe anything they're saying. He's like, well, I'm gonna live forever.
It's
What?
very, very token black character in a white people horror movie.
Yes, great call. Yes.
Yeah.
Have we had any other black people in these movies?
Um,
Oh yeah, we had the guy who wanted to kill himself, Eugene, in the second movie. Remember?
were there any black people in the first? Well, Tony Todd.
Tony Todd, right? Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
that's all.
Death is black.
Right. So there's Lewis. And then we get Aaron and Ian, the goth people. I thought Aaron
Oh,
looked like
yeah.
Carly Rae Jepsen. What do you think? First time I ever thought that, but I thought she
No, she does look like Carly Rae. Well, maybe that's just a Canadian look.
but
but,
the bangs and the face even.
Yeah,
Doesn't look like her.
she was on a show at the time called Instant Star, which was on after Degrassi: The Next Generation. And so anytime I watched Degrassi, I would see commercials for that show, and I recognized her
probably.
from those commercials.
I don't remember her, but that's
Yeah.
very cool. There's one line I thought was pretty funny where Ian McKinley. There's like a whole joke in this movie where he has like the same name as like his town and school, and he hates it, which is kind of funny and like a character.
And isn't that
thing.
another president thing? President McKinley.
Yeah,
Yeah.
who is that? I'm not
That's
Henry.
a-
I don't know all the
it's a-
presidents.
I mean, it's a president.
What was his first name? Hey Siri, who
William?
was President McKinley? William McKinley?
Yeah, it is William.
Yeah, William McKinley. You know what number?
He was
president
assassinated, dude. He was assassinated. That's
He
why
was? Only like 4 of them were assassinated, right?
This movie's all obsessed with presidential assassinations. For
That's
some
a great
reason.
call, Daniel. That's
Yeah.
that's a great point. He was the 25th president, by the way. That's a great call. That's something I never thought about. I'm glad we've got you here, such a scholar, right?
Thank you. Thank
So Aaron and Ian.
if
I
Henry
think-
was still hosting the show, by the way, this whole episode would be about this.
About the presidents, he'd be like, "Why isn't there
Yeah.
a Garfield? Why isn't
Yeah.
why isn't there a Taft? Somebody could die in a bathtub. Why wasn't Todd's name Taft and we got hung in the bathtub?" So Aaron and Ian, by the way, they I think that they like that scene is really long, too long.
You think it's too long?
In the warehouse, like we get like so much, like we're setting a thing here that might fall, and we're doing this, and then it all just leads to like the nail gun. I think it's a lot of setup.
Yeah, well, I sort of like that.
Me too, but it's a lot, especially watching it this time. I was like, man, this is a big scene here for just like a little nail gun accident.
It has to be a big scene. It has to be a big scene because he comes
Because
back
Ian,
later
right?
and turns out to be the crux of the entire movie. Because the way that Wendy dies is that Ian kills her.
Well, she's what she thinks, right?
Yeah.
Yes, that right, because he gets all mad and follows them to the I sort of talked about how I don't like the climax of the first movie in the everything's just like hell's just raining, or death is raining hell upon them, like with the fire and sparks. And this one I really like at the carnival, or at the like the fair at the end. I think that's a cool setting for like, because everything's so dangerous.
Yeah, well, it's very bookendy because of the
amusement
roller
park.
coaster. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Great point. Yeah, but I think it's very cool at the end. The horse, like that, it made me think about. And I never thought about it really in the previous movies, but it made me think about real life. Like if I was at a place like this and I saw a horse like run and like they had a rope that grabbed somebody and like they like got killed, like it made me think about seeing this in real life. I think they do a good job with the direction. Like
I was just thinking if I ever went to like a fireworks display and I saw they had like a horse roped up like right near where the fireworks are going off, I'd bail.
Yeah, very poor decision. I thought. And what was up with those guys who fired the fireworks right next to the horse? What were they? A bunch of jerks.
What? Yeah. What were they aiming for?
Yeah, what was their goal? I didn't really understand that. Just to be mean. I don't know. But
Bunch of jerks.
did you like Aaron's death? The nail gun?
Oh yeah, I mean it's not like the best, but I liked how many nails went off.
Yeah, so
Just
many
kept
nails.
going on and on.
But,
Logan,
all right.
at the fair at the end, did you see
Yeah.
the late great Corey Monteith?
Yeah, Corey Monteith is in this movie.
So sad to see him.
Yeah, I noticed him actually the last time I saw this movie. This was the second time I ever noticed Corey Monteith. And it is sad, especially because this is a Final Destination movie all about death, and that guy's dead now. It's very upsetting.
He survived it though. He survived this one. Maybe
Yeah.
that's why he survived this Final Destination movie. He had to die eventually. Death got
Came
him
back, circled
with
around.
them pills. Yeah.
Oh man.
If you go back and look at set photos from Final Destination 3, you can see a bunch of pills in the background
come
of one
on.
shot of Corey Monteith.
It's not funny. But what was up, by the way, with one part in this movie where they're like, so who is beside you, Julie? There was somebody sitting beside you. And there's a character that dies in this movie who is not even a character in the movie. Did you like that? Her friend Perry just gets impaled by a flagpole.
Oh yeah, the Asian girl.
Yeah, they're like, who was it? And then it's just like this random girl dies.
Yeah, that was wild.
That was a funny choice. And then they
I
do
like
something.
a good impaling though. Yeah, and she like fell on it so hard. Yeah, that was kind of
Yeah, it gets her, and then she sort of slides down
Yeah.
it further, which is cool. They always do the good stuff with their dead bodies, right? They do it with McKinley too. He gets killed, and he sort of like twitches, and he's flipping her off right when he dies.
Yeah.
They do the good stuff there. But so there's Perry. Nothing on Perry. So then Ian, the sign falls on Ian. R.I.P. Ian. But okay. 5 months later, I hate this part.
What, the train?
I really hate it.
What's
Because
Because you want Mary Elizabeth to survive. That's your problem.
no, it's not. No, that's not my problem. I feel like everybody has died in these movies. I wasn't expecting her to live, but the one, it's so random. Like she's getting off. I mean, I guess it's death. Everything happens. It's
No,
all
this
weird.
is death. Death just taking out everybody who's left in one fell swoop. I read that in the original script of this. The surviving cast members from Final Destination 2 were on the train too.
Who survived from Final Destination 2?
I don't fucking remember. Leave me alone.
It's
Sorry.
the end of. I don't know who lived Final Destination.
By the way, I read
Oh,
that
oh.
Mary Elizabeth Winstead auditioned for the girl in Final Destination 2. Can you believe they picked that other girl?
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like she went in the room and auditioned.
Yeah, and they picked the other girl, and then
What?
they remembered her for this one.
Honestly, I can't imagine doing that at all.
Yeah.
That's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. But yeah, you're thinking about her and you're thinking about the cop. They live because they're eating,
Yeah,
they're eating
exactly.
dinner.
It was
their
those
lunch.
two.
So yeah, whatever. So, but no, I guess I didn't expect her to live. But I hate it. Yeah, they're like she sees her sister and then they see him, and it looks like shit.
I don't think it does. I think it looks all right.
No, I think it looks like shit. And I think honestly, I would have been fine if it ended with her on the track and the train comes and she dies. But then it's
You
like,
get that
oh
sound
no,
effect. It's happening.
yeah. But then it's like, oh no, that was the premonition, and now we get it. And then it just like cuts to black, and I just think it's so cheesy compared to the rest of the movie, which was
I
like,
felt
which felt so real to me.
I
Kind of.
think it's fine. I think it's a good ending.
No, I really didn't like it, especially after last movie, which I thought was so great, such a great ending in 2 with Brian going. To
This
check
is
the girl.
better than that.
No way. No, I really hate this ending, and that 2 is a great ending.
2.
I don't like 2. This is way better than 2, but 2
This
is
is-
ending.
This is better than 1.
I'm not gonna fight you on that. I won't do it. But I'm gonna give it a 3. I'm not sure why I would give it a 4, even though I have in the past. Because the only character that really works for me is Mary Elizabeth Winstead. I don't think Kevin's that good. Her sister kind of annoys me, even though their relationship's pretty nice. The deaths, I ranked them here, and I only really like 3 of them. So out of the 7 that happened, which isn't great, but anyway,
I'm gonna give it a 4
Why?
because I loved it. I just
Okay.
like I had a great time watching it. I think if I ever like was in the mood to watch a Final Destination movie, I'd put this one on instead of the first one.
I think I agree with that. Yeah,
Yeah. Um, who's your MVP?
but I still really
Oh,
like the first one.
duh, it's Mary Elizabeth, isn't it?
Yeah, come on.
I'm gonna go with Frankie Cheeks.
All right, whatever. Oh, did you not know the actor? You didn't know him from anything?
No.
Okay, Frankie Cheeks. My LVP, I'm gonna go with you could maybe go Perry because she's not even a character, but she dies, so they treat her like a character. But I think I'm gonna go Lewis. That kind of makes me racist. He's only playing.
I was thinking about doing the same thing, dude.
But I don't really know who else to go. I don't want to go Ashley or Ashlyn. I don't want to go Aaron or Ian. I like both those guys. I don't want to go maybe Kevin, Luck of the Irish guy, but I like him.
Who's Jason and Carrie?
They die at the very beginning. That's their boyfriend and girlfriend.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'll go.
I'll go
with
Lewis.
Texas Battle.
Yeah, me too. Texas Battle but you abuse Bruce Willis, so I don't fuck with you anyway.
Yeah, I agree. Leave Bruce alone.
Yeah. All right. I ranked the deaths because I like to do that.
Mhm.
Last,
Number 1, tanning salon.
last place, I'm gonna go the big crash at the end. I think that's my least favorite one.
Oh god.
Sixth place, I'm going Perry, the flagpole. But no, the way she falls is good, but she's just not a character. Number 5, Lewis, the plate smash him in the head. Number 4, Ian, the sign falls on him. Ian McKinley. Number 3, Aaron, she gets the nail gun in the head. Number 2, Frankie Cheeks. He gets the big motor comes through his head. That by the way, that's scary. I've kind of thought about that. At a drive-through, you get stuck, like a truck comes in, and like I feel like that would never happen, but that's still a scary thought.
Yeah, that
Anyway.
scene was intense, dude.
Well, they were outside, not intense. But at number 1,
Ew,
I went
God
Ashley
damn
and
it.
Ashlyn,
All right, at the Ash Twins.
the Ash twins. Yeah,
Is that movie? Are we done?
we can go with the Final Destination. I feel like
All
we've
right.
been wanting to talk about it the whole time.
The Final Destination. Here it is. David R. Ellis back to direct. And Eric Bress, who's one of the Butterfly Effect guys. He's back to write.
Okay.
August 28th, 2009 was the release date. They promoted it as being the Final Destination movie, but then it was sort of a surprise smash at the box office. And it cost $40 million, which is
That's crazy.
the most of any of these, but you know, the 3D shit costs money. And then but it made $187.4 million at the box office. I mean, that's wild, right?
It's like 70 more than the last one.
Yeah.
Well, 3D tickets, right?
It was 3D tickets and the promise of this being the last one. I don't know. Like, and the previous one came out in February. This one we're back in like the end of August, which I feel like is like prime for this type of movie. But
I wasn't there. I'll say I've never seen a Final Destination in the movie theater.
I only saw the first one, I think. We came in at number 50 at the box office that year, between Race to Witch Mountain with The Rock and The Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3 remake with Denzel.
And
Chris Pine?
what? That's Unstoppable.
Oh, that's Unstoppable. I get
John Travolta.
Oh, right, Johnny T, of course. Okay. Let's talk. No nominations or anything. Like, this movie's terrible. Let's
No Razzie noms though.
No.
Okay.
Razzies didn't even give a shit.
Neither did Tony Todd. Couldn't be bothered.
Well, he was making Transformers too.
Apparently, we watched
Yeah.
it. We didn't see him anywhere. Should have made this one instead. At least he'd be featured.
Yeah, he's the main villain,
Death,
isn't he?
yeah. All right. So, what if he was like Starscream or something? We had just had no idea.
That's
Me
wait.
Grimlock. Me Death.
He could have been Megatron.
No, isn't that Hugo Weaving?
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Weaving.
Samara's uncle. Remember that? That was
I forgot about that. Yeah.
crazy.
What a bummer.
All right, so here we go. The Final Destination. We open up at a NASCAR race. You ever been to one of these?
No, of course not. I grew up in civilized society.
Okay, I've been to a lot of them. No, I'm just kidding. I've never been to one. All right, but yeah, there's a big crash. I feel like it's like really quick. Like there's not a lot of setup. It's just like they crash, they get out, premonition.
Well, it's based on the Le Mans crash.
Oh, it's based on a real thing.
Yeah, that was a thing that happened like a long time ago, right? Like this happened basically.
Well, I feel
And then
crashes happen all the time. I didn't know it was based on.
No, but it like went into the crowd and like 80 people who were like watching died.
Oh, that's scary. I've thought about, by the way, like we should try to by next week brainstorm.
By the way,
what
I
other
just looked
openings
up.
they could make.
I just looked up who Tony Todd was in Transformers 2: Revenge of the Fallen. He played the Fallen.
What does that even mean?
Remember, like the villain in that movie was the Fallen.
Yeah, but I didn't understand it really.
Yeah, we can never understand anything in this.
That's
movie.
one guy, I guess. He's
yeah,
the Fallen?
he was the Fallen.
That's pretty cool.
All right, so that's at least a big role.
Yeah. Well,
I
Death,
love-
I'd say, is bigger, but whatever. But are you want to talk about Hunt? And I want to say something about Hunt because I know him from a show I used to watch with my older sister.
What's Hunt?
Hunt is like the guy who gets his butthole. ripped
Oh,
out.
oh, we're talking about the cast. I thought you were gonna start with like the main kid.
Oh, Nick. All right, start with Nick. I don't know Nick.
Well, I don't really know him either. I don't know what
All
there
right,
is to say
start
about any
with
of these people. None of them are good actors. First of all,
None
This
of
is
them are
one
good
the
actors.
Worst
They all suck.
casts. They're so bad.
Daniel, I had the same thought when I was like, I got to the end of this and I was like, all right, MVP time. And then I looked and I was like, God damn, am I the MVP for watching the whole thing? Well, I don't know what to do right now.
Do you remember we talked about this in like the second one? We were complaining about the cast, and it's like the second one's cast is so much better than the cast of this one.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great call. 1 and 3 are similar, and 2 and 4 are so similar.
The lead is this actor, Bobby Campo.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean, the guy's done nothing. I don't even think he's still acting. Oh no, he has a credit recently. But I mean, I haven't used charisma vacuum in a while, but that's
No.
what this kid is, man.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, just nothing going on there.
Yeah,
Nothing.
not a thing. I agree with you. So, what do you think about Hunt, though?
All right. Well, that's Nick Zano.
Yeah.
Now Nick Zano, there's a period of time where television, really television, but Hollywood in general, I guess, was like, this guy, he's a star.
Speaking of
Let's-
Amanda Bynes, right?
Let's try to make him a star. First thing I ever saw him on, he showed up on Two Broke Girls.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he's like an ex-boyfriend.
I think he might have been a current boy. I don't remember, but he like
Right.
dated one of them.
Right. I see
Yeah.
that episode. It's like at an art gallery.
It's
I
not
think.
even an episode. No, he was like recurring. He was on for a
Oh,
while.
well, I
Yeah.
saw one episode at an art gallery, and he's like an ex-boyfriend, but he has a new girlfriend or something. And it was
Okay.
this guy.
So I think that's after I stopped watching the show. I think I saw him when he was the boyfriend.
Oh, spoilers. Sorry.
Yeah. So he after Two Broke Girls or whatever, he
Well,
got
go to
on
before
to,
Two Broke Girls.
What are you talking about?
He was in the show What I Like About You, the Amanda Bynes show.
I
He
didn't
played
know
her
that.
boyfriend. You never
Okay.
saw that show?
No, I did a little bit. My sister watched it.
Yeah, mine too. That's why I watched it. But he was her boyfriend. And so when I saw this movie the first time, I was kind of excited. I was like, "Oh, it's the guy from What I Like About You."
Oh my god!
But then I hated him.
Yeah, so he was on a DC Comics show called Legends of Tomorrow. All right.
Mhm.
He played Steel, which is a black character in the comics. I always thought that was crazy that like nobody like that character is so uncared for that like there was no backlash to that. A white guy playing him on that TV show.
Yeah, I never even heard of that.
Yeah, no one gave a shit. But he played that character, and I once wrote a tweet about Nick Zano. Okay.
Right.
And I was watching an episode of Legends of Tomorrow. I very distinctly remember this. And I was bored and I tweeted, I think this guy, Nick Zano, on Legends of Tomorrow might be the worst actor in the world.
Did you at him? I think
No,
this
no,
at
of
Nick
course
Zano.
not. No. I didn't at Nick Zano. I don't even know if I used his name. I might have just said like the guy who plays this guy.
Okay.
and yeah, he's the worst actor who has a regular role on television. I think that might have been what I said.
Okay.
And then between the seasons of Legends of Tomorrow, to like promote the next season, they did Legends of Tomorrow mean tweets on YouTube, where the cast of Legends of Tomorrow, they were all reading tweets that people had said that were cruel.
Mhm.
I guess it's something they do on like Jimmy Fallon or
Right.
Jimmy Kimmel or something.
Jimmy Kimmel.
Okay.
Oh, we're
And
Jimmy Fallon.
so they did it. And the tweet that they gave Nick Zano to read was my tweet.
Right. So he says, all right, so from at Low Stakes Daniel,
Yeah,
I've got
exactly.
This Nick Zano is the worst actor on a hit TV show.
No, to be a regular on a television program.
Okay. And he was like, wow, Low Stakes Daniel. Well, you know what? At least I'm on a TV show. I bet he said that.
No, he made one of those self-deprecating jokes like, you know what, fair. Some bullshit like that, I think. And
that's so sad though. He said fair that he's the worst ever in any running show.
yeah, but he's got the last laugh, right? He's on a running show.
Right. Not still.
I mean, what's he doing these days? I don't know. That show is over.
I haven't seen him in a long time. But I don't watch a lot of TV.
You don't watch a lot of DC Comics TV show. Yeah, he hasn't done anything since that show ended.
He was like, damn, Low Stakes Daniel was right.
Yeah.
So you got the last laugh.
Oh, wait, hang on. He's on an upcoming Netflix series, gang. It's called Obliterated. It's about an elite special forces team tracking a deadly terrorist network hell-bent on blowing up Las Vegas, where I live.
Oh, well.
Maybe because Low Stakes Daniel lives there.
He heard you moved. He's like, I gotta get on this one.
Looks like he's third build. The star of the show is C. Thomas Howell. So I don't think this guy's career is doing so great these days.
No. But that'd be cool. This could be like the first thing of media to really use that big dome you've got there.
Well, I think the first thing was that great U2 concert, baby.
Well, that doesn't count. I mean, like to use it like it's featured in a movie or a show. What's that? Is it what's it called? The dome or the globe or the sphere?
No, you're right. The sphere. Yeah,
they
should do a special edition. Like get like Spielberg and George Lucas to go back and re-edit Con Air. Throw the sphere in there.
That's in Vegas.
Well, the plane lands in Vegas at the
end.
Or
or like Nick Cage is just like walking around and he sees the sphere.
When leaving Las Vegas?
Right. Yeah, he's just walking around town and sees it.
Man, he spent a lot of time here. There's also honeymoon in Vegas. A lot of Nicolas Cage fucking loves Las Vegas.
Yeah. I'm excited for that new Nick Cage movie. It looks like Being John Malkovich, kind of.
Oh yeah.
It's like a weird dream. It does
look kind of interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Good trailer.
Yeah. Anyway, so there's that guy Hunt. Anyway, what about their girlfriends? We've got Lori and we've got Janet. Lori likes to get in her underwear a lot. That's the thing I noticed about Lori. And Janet, I had a question about Janet. Are Janet and Hunt actually dating? Because he cheats on her.
Yeah, I think he's just a big cheater. But I think that Lori is I found her to be the most competent of the main actors. I don't think she was good, but I thought she was better than the others.
I kind of thought Janet was a little better.
Really?
Yeah, Lori she had like a lot of simple lines that I thought were really bad.
That's
like,
not her fault.
But no, but I thought she delivered them bad. Like they seemed simple, but she but she didn't know how to deliver it. And I feel like she thought too hard about how to deliver it. I don't know. I didn't really like Lori. Very pretty Lori, but
she's very pretty. Yeah, but she's still working, dude. She played both Ryan Phillippe's wife on Shooter.
Okay.
And I believe Carl Urban's wife, The Boys.
No.
Yeah, she's rocking them. She's playing some wives these days, baby.
I saw The Boys and I've seen his wife. I didn't know that was her.
That's her, man.
What about Janet? She doing anything?
She ended up on that Teen Wolf show.
Lori or Janet?
Janet.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool.
She was also in Blonde.
Blonde, the Marilyn Monroe movie?
Yeah,
Okay, I don't remember that.
that hot Marilyn Monroe blowjob movie.
Man, yeah. I don't think you should ever say that again. Oh, that was a sad movie. All
It
right,
was
so we've
good.
got the racist.
Guys, Blonde was good.
That's fine. You can say that if you want to, but
Yeah,
don't
I
say the
will.
sexy blowjob movie.
Okay, I will. I won't say that.
We could say it like to me, but to other people, we probably should. Like, if you're ever just talking to like you say blonde, you're like, oh, I mean the sexy blowjob movie. Probably should say that, but. All right, so
Yeah.
the racist guy. Should we talk about some of these deaths? He goes. He's gonna like put up a cross at the black guys.
This guy is like old timey racist. He's like fucking 1960s civil rights movement racist. He's got a full swastika tattoo on his arm, and I spotted that before like this dude had any lines, and I was like, is that an extra? I thought it was just like an extra that they found with a swastika tattoo.
No.
And so he has a swastika. His wife dies, right? Because he leaves the arena and she doesn't.
Right.
And or the racetrack, whatever. And then he goes and he's gonna burn a cross on the black security guard's lawn. It's crazy.
Yeah. And then why can't we be friends?
Yeah, I
starts
like
playing,
that.
and he gets dragged off by the little hook on his truck, and it catches
Yeah.
on fire, and he burns.
Yeah, the black security guard, by the way, is the obvious
George.
MVP of this movie.
Obvious MVP, George. Wow.
Michael T. Williamson. He's like the only real actor in this movie. I mean, you mentioned Forrest Gump earlier in the show. He's fucking Bubba.
Wait, what? When did I mention Forrest Gump? But this guy's Bubba? Bubba?
Didn't you make a Forrest Gump reference? Oh, Saving
Did I?
Private Ryan. I'm sorry.
Oh. I had no idea this was Bubba.
Yeah, it was flat out Bubba.
I had no fucking idea. Holy shit! I don't think it's so obvious this guy's the MVP. I thought you would think it was really silly, the parts where he's like in Alcoholics Anonymous and he's like sitting there with the glass of wine and reading that book and like talking about his family
is
that he got
fucking
killed.
silly, but this is like literally the only guy who's like bringing any humanity to his role whatsoever.
That's fair. That's fair. I didn't really like the character that much, and the way he died.
I didn't like the character either, and the death
lame.
is just a rip off of the first movie.
Right.
By the way, told you that bus crash scene was the most iconic part of the first movie. Now we're just redoing it.
You think that? I don't know about that.
Yeah. Ambo death. But yeah, no. Listen, nothing that he does in this movie is good, but like he still ends up smelling like roses because the rest of the cast is so goddamn bad, and he just like brings some fucking class to the screen when he's on. It's like, oh, finally, like a dude who can like imbue a role with some fucking humanity.
No, that's fair, but I think I disagree for my MVP. But we got MILF and her two kids.
I hated that she was credited as MILF.
They all are. It's MILF. It's racist. It's cowboy. They're all just like what
That's
they are.
fine, but MILF.
So what?
I don't know. She's a mom. She's got like a whole
Mom,
life.
I'd like the fuck. Am I right?
Oh God.
But they even call her that in the movie. They're like, oh, we lost a good MILF.
They do, or does Nick Zano?
Yeah, Nick Zano does, I guess.
Yeah. Listen, Krista Allen, it's nice to see her. She's a vet. She played Emmanuel on the classic softcore porn series Emmanuel in Space, which
Really?
I used to sneak episodes of late at night on Showtime.
So she was a softcore porn actress.
Early in her career, yes.
Okay.
But
All right.
she
What about later in her career? What's she
graduated-
doing now?
You graduated to real acting. She's always working. I don't know what she's doing right now. Let's find out.
Okay.
If my phone would work.
This death, by the way, I think this death, the MILF's death, is maybe the most Final Destination-y Final Destination
It is.
death, because there are so many things that could go wrong. Like so many setups we do. We've got the chair that like keeps falling, and we've like with the scissors next to her eye. We've got that fan up above her that's loose. We've got the woman doing her toenails. You're like, oh, maybe something's going to go wrong on the toenails. We've got that flat iron with the hairspray. There's the lotion on the floor.
Yeah, that's why this is the best scene in the movie. Because they set it up like a Final Destination death, and then there's an actual punchline at the end where she like dies just from like something her kid did earlier.
Right. Yeah, I do think that's great. And also the guy mowing the lawn, it starts out where he's smoking a cigarette while pouring gasoline.
Yeah,
like, maybe that's
right.
Gonna be a thing. But it's really the kids are throwing rocks, and he hits the rock, and the rock shoots her in the eye. Very fun. I always loved this. And she says, "I've got my eye on you," and then she gets shot in the eye. Always loved this one. The MILF death. Very fun.
She's good. I just looked up what she's in now, and she's doing Bold and the Beautiful. So
okay,
soaps. Yeah,
that's good. She's probably working with some big
around this time though. How about that? She was also on the LA Complex.
Oh wow, who else?
Classic Canadian TV show. Either Ashlyn or Ashley.
Oh right, you didn't. Why didn't you look them up to find out?
Shaylon Simmons is the name.
You can tell the difference. They don't look similar.
No, okay, so it's the one with the bigger boobs.
Okay, yeah, I guess you can tell apart that way. I like the one. She was like, "Why are you wearing your panties?" And she was like, "Well, my boyfriend loves tan lines." That was a funny line.
It's a weird thing to love.
Yeah, but I think I've heard of that.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a thing.
And I think like some girls go for tan lines and some don't. Like specifically, some are like, I want the tan lines and I don't want the tan lines.
Sexy.
It's like a real preference people have. I think I get it. I don't really have a preference, but I understand it, I guess. But back to the premonition thing you're talking about. This is similar to 2, how we like see her have the premonition, like, oh, I've got the blood on my hands, and I'm in the car, and there's Dr. Galadriel. No, that's a Lord of the Rings character. They're Dr. Kalargian, I think was her name. But
that's it.
But yeah, she has like these weird things in this one where it's like we can see him having the visions, but the visions are terrible. Like we see like that red door and like the swinging hook, and it's just like a series of horrible CGI effects. I hate
Red
it.
Door. Stay tuned for our Insidious coverage.
I thought you might say that. Yeah. Yeah, but I hate the way that's done. I hate the actual deaths too. They look like garbage. The one here, the mechanic death. This one is one of my least favorite ones. They go visit him, and like a car comes, and he like almost gets killed by the fence, but then they misses, and then like there's a fire extinguisher comes and pins him against the fence, and it's like, why did he even die from that? I don't even understand.
And his like body goes through the holes in the fence. It looks so stupid.
It's one of the dumbest things I'd ever seen, honestly. It looks like shit and it doesn't make sense. I don't know, I hate it. But there we go.
It looks like something from like a PS1 video game.
Yeah, not even PS2.
Yeah.
But here we go. This is probably the best part of the movie when we get Hunt going to the water, to the pool, and we get Janet going through the car wash. And they don't know. We've never done this before where it's like, ooh, what's the order? Who's going to die? And they're happening simultaneously. That's kind of fun.
The car wash stuff was kind of fun, but also like, why was she in that car wash?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Like seconds before she goes in the car wash, her sunroof doesn't close, and then she just gets it closed, and she's like, "Oh, time for the car wash." And
why can't she get out the door? Like, there's one point early on before like the car fills with water. You know, like I understand you can't get out at that point, right? Like it's hard to open.
No, but it's just death. Like, remember when Carter got on the
but
race?
No, it was like a decision.
And he couldn't
it was
get
a
out?
decision she made though. Like she wasn't trying to open the door. It was like she was looking around. She was like, I can't get out. I'm in a car wash. It's like,
oh really?
She was willing to die at the expense of like getting soapy.
Yeah, well, I guess I don't understand that. That's a good point. I don't know. Can't answer that. but yeah, I think this is probably the best part. By the way, did you notice? I want to bring something up. The Clear Rivers shout out in this movie.
No, I read about it afterwards though.
Really, didn't notice that. It's like pretty prominent. But I had a question. Like, it's called Clear Rivers Water, is what it says.
Why don't they just call it Clear Rivers?
But yeah, that's a good point, because then here it's like Clear Rivers Water. Does she own it? But if there was just a place called Clear Rivers, That's not her name. That's just a place called
Exactly.
Clear River.
It's
So that
just
actually
the Clear
does
River.
make more sense.
I guess so.
Yeah. So I guess so. But did you like his death?
How do you die? Oh, this is the butthole.
Yeah, he goes down. He has a lucky quarter throughout this whole movie. He goes down to get his quarter because his quarter falls in, and he gets trapped. And the thing suctions his butthole out of his body.
I was mixed on it because at first I was sort of like grossed out by it. And I was like, and so any horror movie that can make me feel viscerally like that, like good on you. But like, I didn't think it was done particularly well. Like, it wasn't gross, but it wasn't funny.
Well, it is kind of funny when he dies and then the quarter lands like on his intestines, right? It's
yeah,
like,
but
oh,
I
the
didn't
lucky
think
quarter.
the intestines looked good. Like I
No.
thought we should have gotten like a long ropey intestine.
Yeah. No, it doesn't. It doesn't look good. I agree. It looks like the effects in this look like Saw 3D effects. That Saw 7, the seventh Saw movie. How it's like they're like pink, like the blood is pink and doesn't look real, and it like
That's what
everything
I'm
just
saying.
looks
This is what
bad.
James Wong said. He says blood's hard to do 3D.
Yeah. Saw. I guess I should know that from Saw. By the way, what year is this? 2009.
Yeah. No. Yes. Yeah. 9.
Okay.
Wait,
so
did
I
we
think-
ever do our list?
Oh no, we didn't do our list. You want to do our list?
Should
I've got
we?
it right here. Yeah. My
Go
number
for it.
10, Moon. My number 8, Crank High Voltage. Never saw Crank, but here's Crank High Voltage. A lot of comedies here in a row. Number 8, I Love You Man. Slapping the bass. Number 7, Observe and Report. Number 6,
God,
Funny
I
People.
found the only 2 co-hosts in the world who would put "I Love You, Man" on a top 10 list.
Yeah, that's not true. I think people who listen to this probably love I Love You Man. 6, Funny People. 5, Sam Raimi's Drag Me to Hell. 4, a documentary you just made me watch, We Live in Public. 3, Jennifer's Body. Love that movie. Love that poster. Number 2, Adventureland. Number 1, obviously, Inglourious Bastards.
All right, yeah. And honorable mention shout outs to Serious Man, Hump Day, Sin Nombre, Moon, White Ribbon. Where the
Shout
Wild
out
Things
Fired
Are.
Up. Shout out Orphan, the Friday the 13th remake.
Drag Me to Hell.
500 Days of Summer.
But here's my actual top 10. It's 10, Crank High Voltage. 9, The House of the Devil.
Oh yeah.
Number 8, Observe and Report. Number 7, Antichrist. Number 6, Funny People. Number 5, Adventureland. Kind of a comedy heavy list.
Yeah.
Comedy and horror.
Right.
Number 4, Fish Tank by Andrew Arnold. And number 3, We Live in Public, documentary I made you watch recently. Number 2, Dogtooth. And number 1, Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah. I never saw Dogtooth. That's Denis Villeneuve.
No, it's Yorgos Lanthimos.
Oh, that's what I meant. So great list.
Thanks, bro. All right, back to this movie. Back to this shit.
All right, don't call it shit. All right,
It
so we
is
got-
shit. I'm gonna give it a 1.
All right, fine. But okay, so they realize, so they save Janet. They end up driving their car into the other side of the car wash, and they save Janet's life. So that's good. And then they're like, all right, so what's happening now? I guess like we won, right? They think like they end up thinking that they won. Is this when that happened?
I don't remember.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so George tries to hang himself, but then he fails, and they're like, oh, well, I guess we beat death. We're gonna like go on trips and go to
yeah.
the movies and just live a normal life now. So, I want to bring something up. Lori, at one point, she says, "You only live once," and I had to look it up because I thought I might be right. And the motto by Drake and Lil Wayne, all those guys, came out 2 years later. So Lori invented YOLO. I want to say that. Shout out to Lori.
Come on.
There we go.
What?
Shout
No
out
one
Lori.
ever said that before.
Nope. Lori invented YOLO. There we go. So Nick decides, I'm not going to go to the fucking movies with you guys. You're going to see a chick flick. I'm not.
I want to
doing
say
that.
that there was a Stroke song called "You Only Live Once" that came out in 2006.
I don't know about it, so doesn't count. Does not count. But they realized that there was a cowboy from the track that survived, and
Oh yeah, he's still in the hospital.
yeah, and he never died. So that's why they haven't died yet. But I had a question, like, How long has happened between like the last death and this death? Has there been like a week? Like, and if so, why hasn't death killed the cowboy and continued on with the stuff? Like, why is he taking a break here so much for them to think that they've actually won? You know what I'm saying?
That's a great point, man.
Like,
He had to
why did
do-
he slow down suddenly?
Well, maybe he had some voiceover work to do.
You think that's what it is? I
Yeah.
don't know. Well, yeah, I didn't really understand it, but I had that thought. I was like, huh, why did Death take a break for a little while in between here? But
Well,
anyway,
they announced the new Candyman movie. He had a good do.
Our new Transformers. He had to. So Cowboy dies. What do you think about his death? Like a bathtub above him falls on top of him.
Oh yeah, it was all right.
Looks like
It
shit,
looked
though.
like shit. Yeah, that's the
Well-
thing. Like anything that like could theoretically be good, like anything we describe
reminded me of
to you on
Sharknado.
this podcast that sounds like it could be good. It reminded me of fucking Sharknado, dude.
Yeah, because
The effects are very Sharknado-y.
yes, because remember early on, like at the racetrack, we see all like the stuff falling on them. I was like, I can picture a shark falling on them right now.
No,
like that,
absolutely, dude. The guy who gets like the ones who get like cut in half by that thing and I mean it all looks it does look like Sharknado. There's even that fucking Sharknado movie that has a racetrack sequence.
yes. Oh, why? It's crazy. I didn't think about that during that part. I guess because I didn't think this looked so shitty yet. But yeah, it looks like Sharknado. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's sad. But oh well. So here we go. So Cowboy dies, and then George and Nick are walking to Lori. They're like, "Oh no, we got to tell Lori something's up." And then George gets hit by an ambulance because they do
Yeah.
the thing from the first movie. And then so basically, like Lori, she dies on like an escalator, but then it's all a premonition. And Nick goes, and it's all like really fast. Like that stuff like a premonition is long, and then Nick's just like, and then cut to reality. Nick goes and puts on sprinklers. And if you look at the runtime, all this happens in like 7 minutes left in the movie. Like it's all so fast. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But so Nick I always liked that part actually when he uses sprinklers. I was like, because when I was watching this movie the first time, I was like, use the sprinklers, what are you doing? And then he did it, and I was like, I felt so smart when I watched this movie the first time. But it's like the Final Destination. How smart am I?
You're as smart as the lead from the Final Destination.
Yeah. One moment I want to bring up here at the mall. Lori got some new shoes, right? She's showing Janet her new shoes. She's like, "Hey, Janet, what do you think about my new shoes?" And Janet's like, "They're all right. I mean, I wouldn't wear them, but they're pretty cool." And Lori's like, "Yeah, but you don't understand. Nick likes me in sneaks."
Oh, that is the weirdest shot. And then it comes back like a second later, the sneaks. Because
they get stuck in the thing. The
shoelace
shoelace
gets stuck in the escalator. Yeah,
exactly. But I thought
they're
that was
just
so
setting that
funny.
up. It is such a weird line of like it sticks out like a sore thumb. Like there has to be something more to it. Why would this line be in this movie?
Exactly. I wrote it down at the time. And I forgot that it even came back. But it was just such a funny, glaring line. You're right. That it stuck out so much. But there we go. He likes her in sneaks. So anyway, so they live and they go 2 weeks later to that coffee shop from the beginning. Remember, they went to this coffee shop. Now they're back. We'll set up and pay off. Great job by by the
butterfly effect guy.
Butterfly effect guy. So here we go. We get Lori. Nick's like, oh man, I feel like something's off. It's not right. And Lori, did you pick up on this? What Lori calls him?
What?
She says, "All right, Space Cadet." And I just want to say, shout out Space Cadet 1.
I'm not sure he still listens to the show.
He doesn't listen to this show anymore.
I'm not sure.
He left with Henry.
He might have.
Oh, fuck you, Space Cadet 1. I take back my shout. Unless you still listen, then shout out to you. But that makes me sad. I didn't even know that. I always thought this. I'm like every week. I'm like, can't wait to do an episode for Space Cadet 1. He's not a patron, but he probably listens to the main show. And now, like, my reality has been.
I think he checks in every so often, but he's not a regular listener anymore.
Well, he probably knows that Space Cadet is in this movie, so he's gonna listen to this
He'll
one
check
for
this
his
one
shout
out,
out.
yeah.
And then I just said "fuck you" to him. So
Definitely.
sorry, Space Cadet 1, but shout out to you. And then
He'll listen when we cover Dune in a couple months.
Are we doing Dune in a couple months?
Oh, I mean, probably. I don't know.
We didn't do Avatar when that came out. Why are we doing
Good
Dune?
point. Good point.
All right, but I thought this was a lame ending. They're just like, oh no, it's not over, and then a truck comes and crashes into the building, and they die.
Of course, it was dumb. Come on, it makes the subway ending look great.
Yeah, honestly. But I did
Yeah.
like the ending, like they turn into skeletons, and we see like all the deaths from previous movies, but as
Oh, I
skeletons.
loved that. But that was like a weird like graphic design thing over the closing credits. I
Right.
assume they did it because this was intended to be the
The
last one
final
in the
destination.
series. So it was like the greatest hits of the franchise. They did like the Sean William Scott death from the first one and shit.
Yeah, the guy who
Um,
gets bisect or he gets cut in like thirds by the fence. I always love that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
The
So,
strangulation from the first movie.
yes. So that was
All of them.
exciting.
Yeah, very honestly, very excited, especially in the time like when these movies came out. Like they started in 2000. Now we're here in 2009. Like the deaths were so iconic to me, and I would like watch them all on YouTube. And now, like seeing this at the end of the movie, seeing all the deaths, I was like, oh, it really was so cool. But all right, so I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go 1 star. Sorry.
Yeah. MVP
Oh.
Michael T. Williamson.
I went with Janet, the other Hunt's girlfriend.
Sure.
But by the way, I do want to bring one more thing up. At the start of this movie, Shinedown's Devour plays during the NASCAR.
Devour. I was losing my mind. That song, I didn't know what it was, and I thought it was so funny.
You don't know that song?
No,
Oh, that's a great song. It played.
it's not a great song.
I know, but I had to look it up again because I associate that song with the WWE because it was a WWE song.
It
And I had
was.
Yeah, I had to look it up. It played at the 2008 Night of Champions.
Oh,
Devour,
devour.
suffocate your whole empire, or something
Can
like
that be the closing song?
Oh
this
yeah,
week?
Devour, Shinedown.
What was the main event of Night of Champions 2008?
Probably some with Triple H. Hey Siri, do you know what the main event was at the 2008
I've
Night
got
of
it pulled up.
Champions?
I've got it pulled up right here.
Okay.
The main event.
Oh, I see it.
You fucking nailed it, dude.
Yeah.
Triple H versus John Cena.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Wow, what a show. The two main events for the two titles. Triple H versus Cena and Edge versus Batista.
Holy cow.
Pretty great. And for the Intercontinental title at that show, Logan, Kofi Kingston versus Chris Jericho.
Wow. 2008 might be my peak of wrestling. That might have been when I was
what
most
a
into it.
show. How about this
Like,
one?
honestly.
This is the opening the show for the tag team championship. John Morrison and The Miz defeated Finlay and Hornswoggle.
How did they defeat those guys?
I don't know.
Hornswoggle, did he get under the ring? I bet he did at one point. By the way, I was thinking about this yesterday. We got to do that wrestling thing. I'm actually very excited. Like we got to nail down when we're going to do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
That should be the next thing we do.
Awesome. I'm so
So-
fucking excited. We've
Yeah,
got
so
a
tell me when
wrestling,
we're doing
an
that.
exciting new wrestling show called the Sunday Night Wars coming out on patreon.com/the franchise soon. We're going to do it.
Are we doing those on Sunday nights?
No, but it's about pay-per-views, and that's when they used to happen always.
Oh, right. Because then on the Monday, you had to tune in Monday Night Raw to find out
That's right.
all the what happened.
The fallout, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So 1 star. My MVP Janet. Yours was George. LVP. I'm going a Hunt. The guy from What I Like About
Same.
You. Fucking hate that guy.
Yeah,
You do
fuck
too.
that guy.
Yeah. And I ranked the deaths. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. Last place, the mechanic. Fucking sucked. 6th place, I had Janet, Nick, and Lori dying in the diner at the end. 5th place, George being hit by the ambulance. 4th place, the cowboy made it all the way up to 4, so you know these deaths suck. 3, the racist guy being dragged near
Yeah.
the beginning. 2,
Why can't we be friends?
it should have been like a heavy metal version. That would have been good.
Well, you could have used the Real Big Fish cover.
2, Hunt, and 1, the MILF. There we go.
We number one, the MILF for sure.
Yeah.
MILF,
so-
I think, would be my second choice for MVP, to be honest.
I didn't really think she was that good. What do you think about that move? I always hated that they were like, ew, tampons in the ears, because I feel like that's a good call. And like it's just cotton. There's no like
No,
people
here's the
associate
thing
it
though.
with-
I get it from both perspectives. Like the mom's looking at it like, what's the big deal? It's just
No,
like,
I'm not talking about from the kids' perspectives. I'm talking about from like Hunt and these guys who were like, ew,
they're
that's
fucking
gross of her."
losers. They're like fucking idiots.
Yeah, I know. I shouldn't be like taking stock in anything that they say, but that was
Yeah.
just so lame of them. I guess they're lame characters, but grow up. It's just cotton. I don't know. But all right. What's next week? Oh, by the way, Andy never saw them. Neither did the writer. I don't know why.
Well, they might not have gone back and like reviewed everything they've ever seen before like we have. You know, I once
Right.
asked my girlfriend why she never did that, and like she didn't even think like she acted like it wasn't even a thing. So like I just think that like
We're
some
crazy.
people aren't insane like we are.
Right. We're the weirdos, not them. They're
Yeah,
normal people.
exactly.
Yeah, right. So sorry to you guys. But all right, next week, what are we doing? Oh, do we have any reviews or anything? Haven't checked that.
I think we
Space
had
Cadet 1,
some
did he leave us anything?
comment. Definitely not him, but we had some comments for sure.
I forgot about the Patreon. Yeah, I was like, I'm
Yeah.
forgetting something. All right, so the Patreon. Shout out to everybody who comments on the Patreon every week. And if you want to do that, if you want to comment on the Final Destination 5, become a patron, and you can. Well, I'll put up a thing. You can ask us anything you want.
$5 a month. Patreon.com/the franchise.
That's right. All right, so a lot of comments here. Honestly, way more than I thought. 6 of them. There's a record. Even like counting Buffy, I don't think we've had 6 comments. Mikey Graff said he left us 3 of them. So shout out to you, Mike Graff. He says Final Destination 3. My favorite death was the tanning booth. Thank God for Mary Elizabeth Winstead for bringing something to this movie.
Yep.
The movie was pretty short. They introduced was going to break up before we didn't bring that up. Yes, that's a great call. The Luck of the Irish's girlfriend is going to dump him after graduation. And then later in the movie, he's like, I was going to ask her to marry me after graduation. And it sort of adds a layer to that character. I liked that. That was good.
I also think it adds a layer of distance between Mary Elizabeth Winstead and him, because it's like he's no longer like my dead friend's boyfriend. He's the dude my dead friend was going to dump. You know, so
but then it adds another layer because he didn't feel that way though.
He was gonna propose.
Yeah, so which I think is a point in what you were saying earlier, how they're not really love interest.
Yeah.
So yeah, but that was great. The story, but never followed up. They introduced the was going to break up before I died storyline, but never followed up. I think the follow up was that he was going to propose.
Yeah, the follow up was more character based, not so much plot based.
Yeah, I think it was the later line. Yeah, I initially didn't like the ending because I wasn't really sure if they died, but I think they answer that in the next movie.
They all die.
Yeah, but we haven't heard about the guys from 2 yet dying.
Because who cares about them?
Yeah, I guess so. But like immediately we
They
heard
were
about
supposed to be
Alex.
on that. They were supposed to be on the train. That's why.
What do you mean?
They were supposed to be on the Final Destination 3 train at the end. That's where we were supposed to see them die. But
should we just say like that's canon? They couldn't get the actors. Should we just in our canon they're dead? Okay.
Yes.
All right. And then he says the Final Destination. I loved the opening animated sequence. Was that the skeletons? I think they probably do that at the beginning too. Of course, ending with the best Final Destination death, the bus death. What do you mean? He loved the ambulance one?
Listen, I told you.
Why does he love those? He loved the first one too.
Everyone loves that.
But listen, I get it. That's like such a scary and sudden way to die, and that's like real. Like people get hit by cars and buses all day. But we're making Final Destination. We can do anything. I just think those are so lame.
But that's the one that's iconic.
Not even to me, but whatever. The main dude.
See, iconic is something like what that means is it tends to like permeate the culture and become something that's memorable. It's not
iconic
just
to
what
me is
you,
subjective
Logan
and objective.
Beadare like.
No, I disagree. It's Logan's iconic. That's what it is. The main dude was bland, and he kind of reminded me of Clay Jensen. Come on, Mikey Graff.
Of who?
Clay Jensen. That's Dylan Minette's character from 13 Reasons Why.
Oh, that was definitely trying to get under your skin, Logan.
Yeah, I should have not read this. God damn it. They shouldn't have even introduced the kids if they weren't going to kill them. Oh, Mikey Graff. I love it. What do you think about that?
I think it's hardcore. I like it.
That's great. Yeah, that didn't even cross my mind, but great call. I know kids are never killed, but still, Nick Zano sucks. Why didn't he take off his shorts when he was stuck in the drain?
That's a great point.
Great job, Mikey Graff. You're laying them down this week. And then Mikey Graff says again, also the new Patreon app sucks. I can't get it to work.
Multiple people have said this to me. I haven't been on the app, but apparently the new Patreon app sucks, gang. Listen to the shows on Spotify or whatever.
Yeah, I haven't
Oh,
been on the
by
app,
the way,
but
by the
they
way,
changed the website too.
listener Ross Beck. You could cut this out of the show if it's not a good idea, but I think it is a good idea.
Okay.
He requested maybe a commercial-free version of the main show on the Patreon feed for the patrons. I think that's a nice hook for patrons. If you pay $5 for a month, you don't have to listen to these fucking commercials.
That's a good idea. I do only play them one at the beginning, one at the end, and then one right between the movies. So it's pretty easy.
Oh, of course, that and that's great. That works out fine. But like, we should give the option to the $5 subscribers.
Okay, yeah, I never thought about that. Who was that? Ross
Beck.
Okay, yeah, that's good. We can do that. I never thought about that. So no, we're off Michael Graff, now on to Michael Babcock. He says, I don't care for the new Patreon format. Anyway, these Final Destination movies, even at their best, are all pretty bad. I'll bet you guys were into the third one with Mary E.W. I don't like that because that looks like Mary Ew. And I don't like Mary Ew because I don't think
Mary Entertainment Weekly.
Oh, I guess so. E.W. Mary E.W. as the lead. However, we're into the third one with Mary that's confusing me. The Mary E.W. as the lead. However, I'll assume she'll be both your MVP. Yeah, great assumption.
I didn't. She wasn't mine.
Wait, what?
Didn't I have a different MVP
for the third one? Who? Oh, Cheeks. You went fucking Frankie Cheeks.
I went with Frankie Cheeks.
Yeah, I forgot about that. You could have gone Corey Monteith. I feel like that would be a Daniel move. Leslie Roman says.
Wait, DVD... I want to say regarding the Final Destination movies being bad, that's crazy to me because I think about my grades so far. Is this the only franchise where in the first 4 movies I've given a 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4?
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah, that might be possible. We're all over the place. I don't want to spoil anything. But that'd be cool if you gave the next one a 5.
I would love to.
I don't know if you will. It'd be crazy to give Final Destination movie a 5, but they do a lot of cool stuff in the next one.
I'm gonna try to, gang. If I can get there, it'll get a 5.
I don't know about that. That'd be crazy. But yeah, I don't think these are that bad. That's crazy. You gave the third one a 4, honestly. But okay. And then Jack Bulberry says, "I'm late with this."
Wait, didn't you skip Leslie?
I didn't read that. I didn't read that. Yeah, Leslie says on the DVD cover of 3, it was a choose your own adventure type thing. Everyone still died, but there were alternate scenes about how. So that's cool.
Yeah.
The
everyone
cover still died regardless.
Yeah, that's weird. All right, what Bulberry say?
He says, "I'm late with this, but the 100 actually was 100 episodes long." Oh, remember I had a joke once about how that probably wasn't 100 episodes, but it was. I'm so dumb. That's great. He says Final Destination 3 has a 90-minute documentary on the Blu-ray, and it's
90
amazing.
minutes.
Takes you through the entire filmmaking process. Also love the deaths in this film. So many practical effects.
Maybe I should watch that.
So there are 2 different things. So Final Destination 3 has a choose your own adventure and a 90-minute documentary.
I'm gonna look up the shits on YouTube at some point this week.
That makes sense. I feel like 2006 probably was like the height of DVDs.
Oh yeah, hell, I was buying so many, dude.
Yeah, thank you guys. Great job. Honestly, you guys really pulled through this week. Had a lot of great stuff. Next week we're doing Final Destination 5, and we're starting Insidious.
Yeah,
from James Wong back to James Wan.
That's right.
Who does the next one? Who was that again?
Oh yeah, that weird dude.
Yeah, I forgot, but
Quail, something Quail.
oh yeah, Stephen Quayle or something.
I don't know. We'll find out next week. And but Insidious, yeah, I haven't seen any of those, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, very exciting stuff. Oh, I forgot. I was gonna check to see if we had a review. No, still from Laura ___ 94. All right, guys, thanks so much. Anything, you got anything else? I feel like this was a lot of fun.
No, I had a great time. Yeah. So FD5 and Insidious next week. Come back later in this week on this feed for a bonus episode about The Exorcist Believer and Pet Cemetery Bloodlines. And then we'll also have some discussion on the Patreon about this week's Buffy episodes and Angel episodes. What is it this week? A new man was last week.
Mhm.
What is it?
Expecting
The
this
Iron
week.
Team. The Iron Team for Buffy and She for Angel, my least favorite episode of Angel.
Right. You hate
And
women though.
oh yeah, I know. That's well documented. And and we'll also be back for Hey, I'm watching here. I've been watching a ton of shit actually. I'll tell you all about what I thought about the Blue Beetle and Gran Turismo.
Yeah, I have a question.
And
You
what?
put the Blue Beetle like you rewatched it.
I did? That was a mistake.
Okay. I was like, what? Did he rewatch the Blue Beetle? When did he do
No.
that?
You're right, I did. No, that's a mistake.
Yeah, okay.
Thanks for telling me.
You're welcome.